sunset tonight. I don't have a job to find, and I'll fly away tonight. I'm so tired tonight. I'll fall asleep when I'm home.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, live tonight, Daytona International Speedway, under the lights here, ExtremeMotorsports99.com Cup Series action, and this is some of the best. That's right, Cup Series here. So got some pro-style drivers out here from the peak antifreeze. They also got some bad, fast boys out here. Well, I'm Joe White up in the booth. I'm accompanied by Davis Richards and our pit road reporter tonight, Ethan Kurtz. Davis, how you doing, man?
Hey, Joe, I'm doing fine, man. Got a little extra pep in my step today from my finish last night in the Xfinity Series, and I'm out here. I'm ready to see these boys put on a show. We got peak antifreeze drivers. We got some boys from SRA. We've got the best of the best here in Extreme Motorsports 99, and they're going to put on a show tonight.
Absolutely. How you doing tonight, Ethan?
I'm doing pretty good. Ready to watch some exciting racing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, so we're going to get some reports from some of the drivers throughout this entire race. Something a little different here. Hats off. Like we say, we're kicking this thing off this week. ExtremeMotorsports99.com Cup Series race here tonight. Daytona International Speedway qualifying has concluded. And folks, you are looking at it right. The man on point there, Ariotti. That's right, Ariotti from SRA has came over here. And again, those boys from Sim Racing Authority have came over with authority and unpacked and unloaded cars off the trailer and said, look, we did it once, we'll do it again. We're going to dethrone the man they call Superman, Jake Nichols. And he is trying, and he is buying to do history, though, this season, trying to win an Xfinity here and Extreme and the Cup Series as he's looking to defend his title starting tonight here at Daytona. Davis, what do you think, man, we're going to see here tonight?
Man, we've seen Keith Haney. He almost won the Cup Series, but came up short by like a couple points. But, you know, Jake Nichols, he could do it, but Jake Nichols is going to be the guy to beat. It doesn't matter what track you go to, super speedway, mile and a half, but we're going to see some really close racing. And we were talking about it earlier. These guys, we might see them get single file for a while, but once there's about 20 laps to go, these boys are going to have to put it, it's go time. They're going to have to put it to the floor and try to go out there and get the win.
Absolutely. Well, you know, the one thing we constantly see, obviously, with the Cup car in general is single file racing. Very hard to take that outside lane. As for folks, we're getting set here in about another 30 seconds or so to get this thing rolling here tonight. 100 laps under the lights, of some bad fast boys and some bad fast cars on a bad fast track here. 2.5 mile super speedway, the epicenter here for the motorsports and NASCAR. That's right, Daytona. Can you feel the electricity? Because it's building. Like you said, last night's race was a thriller. Davis Richards, man, came to the front. Almost had that thing won. Came up just a little short. The man last night, though, Mason Weitzel, though, pulled it off. And that was an awesome finish to an awesome race. And I think we're going to see one here tonight, Davis.
Yep, Joe, I really think we are going to. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be really good. I've been waiting 3 weeks for this moment to get back in the booth and do some broadcasting for these Extreme Motorsports drivers. Every single one of these drivers, they've been waiting 3 weeks as well, and they're riled up and they're ready to go.
You're 100% right as we're getting set here to grid these bad boys up here tonight. And folks, it's going to be like none other here as, wow. Like I said, Ariotti, that is their ace in the hole for SRA. Don't forget about some of the other teams here. We got Performance Motorsports. Tom Whitmore, he is moving up here full time here in the Cup Series. And don't count him out. Still got, I don't see Keith Haney out there in the field. Did he make it in here tonight? I don't see him.
I'm not seeing his name. I'm seeing Daniel Haney, but I'm not seeing Keith.
Yeah, I didn't see Keith out there. Hey, don't count out John T. Wimmis making a second start here tonight in the Cup Series here. And he's looking to maybe do some things. We got definitely Mr. Popularity himself. That's old Tyler Sifford. So here we go. Let's go through the grid in order because that man right there, Ariotti, that's right, putting it on pole tonight with the Superman, Jake Nichols, right there on the outside row. Cameron Hearn starting third. Tom Whitmore, we just talked about him right there in fourth place starting. Fifth place man, Mike Franklin. Mason Weitzel right there starting in sixth. He was last night's winner in a thriller. Sitting in seventh, Iceman from the Neverlands, Eric Tess. In an eighth place, There he is, Mr. Popular himself. Man just loves being popular, waving his hands in the sky. Tyler Sippard starting in 8th, 9th place there. Michael Muller, 10th place man. Wesley Crump, couple newcomers there, I believe, if not mistaken. As we look to the rest of this field, we got 33 some top-tier drivers here about to do some top-tier things around an awesome super speedway at Daytona. Well, Davis, I don't know about you, just gives me goosebumps thinking about it.
I've had goosebumps all day, Joe. I've been living it up to this moment right here, and these boys, they're about to go in the next any second now. They're going to be rolling off pit road, and we're going to be green flag racing. We're going to get this season underway. Yeah,
that's right. We call these things the monster machines. Throughout the race, though, our Ethan Kurtz on here at OSR Network's going to give us some rundown pitting orders. Going to go down there and check out the pit boxes and the crews here tonight, see what these boys are feeling around this huge 2.5 mile track. So he's going to get his exercise running up and down there on pit lane all night long. Gonna love that. Something new, man, for the viewers out there. Something new this season with the side-by-side. Won't miss much of the action going on because it helps me and Davis up here in the booth to be able to call it, because it's like last night. We saw many different grooves. That's another thing we'll touch on later in the race, Davis, is how these cars react to a draft as opposed to the cars last night reacting. But I tell you, it is a night and day difference, so to speak, as we'll see throughout this race.
Yep, you're really right. Those Xfinity cars, you got to be careful, and they can push up to the front and get a really good run. But with these Cup cars, well, if you lose the draft by even a hair, you've lost the draft.
Yep, absolutely. Well, here we go. Pace car's coming out of turn number, or is heading into turn number 3 as of right now, and folks, it is going to let loose these machines here, as you'll hear the roar and the thunder of a 33 of some awesome boys here in Iracing here tonight for ExtremeMotorsports99.com Cup Series, and this is the epitome of their series. This is the best of the best, invite only here, and you're going to see top drivers. Pace cars coming out of turn number 4. Going to ride along with Bobby Chaney also on this start here, just to give you an idea of what he sees in the back. Here we go. Pace car ducks off. Green flag in the air. That's the first of it for tonight as they roar to life, coming to the start-finish line. As they'll head off into turn 1, Ariati and Jake Nichols, 2 of the best, will duke it out all night long. And that's going to be the battle up front. Titans of this one here at Extreme, as they still go side by side. Don't count out that 2 behind them there, Davis.
Look for Jake Nichols on that top side. He's going to try to get to the bottom as soon as he can. As soon as the window's open, he's going to take it, because the bottom's going to be the preferred line here tonight.
Yes, it is. Definitely bottom end row right there is going to be the preferred line. If he can get on the inside, the problem is they are 3 up high, and there's a slew of them there on the low side. If they don't get down there, Tom Whitmore's trying to help. Hey, kind of cool. You can see the Dre broadcast machine right there. He's pulling there, helping out the OSR network machine of Jace Nichols, and looking good up front. The thing about it is, look at Dre. Dre. Tom, he already does what we thought he would do. Get down low, because that's what you need to do. There's an opening there for Jake if he can get in there.
Yeah, but Tom, he's gonna let him into that opening right there. I thought Jake Nichols was gonna be left out to drive, but luckily for him, Tom let him through it.
Yes, he did. And as I was watching back there, man, on Bobby Chaney's end of it, as we see just these cars, I got a feeling if we were talking about it a minute ago, if you lose that pack in the back side, it's going to be very hard for the car on the back end to pull back up. And Jake was telling me earlier on, talking to him, he wants to be up front as much as he can. So the strategy last night, I've been able to run in the back and come to the front. I don't know if that's going to be the best strategy, so to speak, to pull around here. I think you want to actually kind of be up towards the middle or the front, because being that last car, it's going to be a different. If you get away from the pack, it's going to be hard to catch back up.
Yeah, but I've already seen some drivers go on the apron to get to the back of the draft, but I don't think that's the right strategy. It's going to be hard to get back up front, and we can already see right here we're starting to get 2, 3, 4 separate packs right here as that front pack's starting to run away.
Yeah, it is. A front pack there in an all single file line is a freight train right there. Ariati up front. You've got Cameron Hearn right behind him. Mike Franklin, he's storming up there, hooked to the back deck lid of him. Jake Nichols, Tom Whitmore, Mason Weitzel, just to name a few there. Michael Muller up there, Tyler Sippard, he's along with him. Eric Driggins, that's the top 9 machines, all nose to tail, running around. Now, like we said, watch Tyler Sippard, or actually Eric Driggins, he's that last car in that line. You can see him lingering off of that line a little bit. he's the one that's going to have the problem. As we see, he's kind of the man on the end there. He's going to get a run if he can. The problem is if he gets a run on that pack, then he's got to make a choice so he doesn't run over Tyler Sifford. If he cracks the throttle, drags the brake, he's going to lose the draft. And we're seeing what's happening right now. He is losing that draft. That's the thing we were talking about, the difference between this car and the car last night, the Xfinity car package, is if you lose that here or get on the backside, it's very hard to pull up. Then you can see like he's pulling up now, Davis. He's got to make a choice. If he cracks that throttle, loses momentum, he can be back there in that second pack.
Yep, and as a driver, it's the most frustrating thing in the world because you basically don't have any control over it. And if you mess up just one little bit, you're done. So he's just got to play with it, like I said, play with the throttle and make sure that he's able to keep the momentum and stay with that lead pack.
Yeah, and it's a dance. It's a fine line between the two right there. Obviously, be getting that done because you've got to know the timing. You've got to be end and end. And right now, though, up front, Ariotti commanding this one. And that's what we see. It's very hard to pass on the outside with these cars. Not to say we're not going to see it. Thing about it is, though, it's probably going to be later on in the race before we do, as we got a single file freight train. I mean, they got the Duke out there and get a little bit of air. But it's going to be interesting to see what some of these drivers have to say, especially ones that are on that tail end, how that car feels like. As of right now, you see that second pack. I believe that's actually with Tyler, the number 7 machine. That is actually Tyler Sifford pulling up there on Michael Moeller. So now we've got a huge freight train pack, and the guy on the end of it now, it actually looks like it's going to be Bryce Sinesack.
Yep, and it's the 99 of Mason Witzel. He tried to go to the outside. He thought he was going to get Aaron Driggins of the number 27 to go with him, but he jumped down at the last second. Now the 99 is going to go all the way to the back unless someone in the second pack decides to go with him. Yeah,
and the bad thing about that is once you pull out on the outside lane, it's just all for naught unless you've got a lot of help here. That's just the package of these cars, folks. Just not a lot of help that you're going to get here. And the thing about where he's at now, no man's land. He'll probably drop like a rock in waters. We're still seeing up front Ariotti in the 77 SRA power out front in that Toyota, and that means Sim Racing Authority. Now, if you don't know the history here, let me give you a little quick on history. About 2 seasons ago, Bobby Chaney and company came over. We got a wreck.
Joe. We got a wreck.
Yeah, we do. Wow, 99 is around. Let's go back on the replay and watch that one.
Looked like the 99 went to go get, he was stuck on that high side and he went to go on that bottom and he thought a door was open, but it wasn't. And ended up wrecking some really good cars.
Wow. All right. Oh, yeah. It's like just, a lot of good cars, a lot of good ones out there. I see the 37 involved. Bobby Chaney barely missing that one. Wow. Barely missing it. The 9 misses it. So we definitely, he collected. We'll just have to get an idea, maybe some of them that he might have collected back there in the back, but that was a slew of them there. Wow.
That's going to end their night, too, as we do not have a fast repair in the Cup or Xfinity Series in Extreme Motorsports. So a lot of these guys, their hope of winning at Daytona is finished.
Yep, John T. Wimich is one of them, too, in the pits already, all tore up. Hate to see that on his end. Wow. Well, under caution for the first time here tonight. Who you want to try to maybe get up that man himself, Ariotti?
Let's fire him up.
All right, let's see if we can find him down there in the SRA booth himself, Mr. Ariotti himself. Give him a second here to get his bearings straight on where he's at. He might be in the middle of talking, going, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm somewhere else now." We'll see if he comes in the pits, though. I don't want to mess his pit up. Never want to do that to these guys, mess their pit stop up or anything like that. So we'll give him a minute to get that situated.
Man, Joe, I really did not expect to see a wreck that early in the race. I thought, this thing was going to go green for probably about 20, 30, 40 laps on that green flag run, but wow.
Well, they were looking good up front. Definitely was spread out, was actually fanned out just a little bit. So, I mean, it looks like Jake only took 2 tires. Ariotti's taking 4, so it'll be interesting to ask him here on this pit. Maybe Ethan can get down there and maybe get an eye. Well, I think he's already ran down there, too. Let's bring old Ariotti up and get a word with him. Ariotti, it's Joe White in the booth. Got a copy?
10-4, I got you, Joe.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're looking bad fast in that 5-hour Energy 77 up there, and you're bringing that horsepower over from the SRA camp, Sim Racing Authority. Love seeing them guys out there run. I see that you took 4 tires there, and some of the other guys took 2. You think it's a good strategy you got going on?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure what the tire wear is going to be like. I mean, I'm looking at it now. It's really not bad at all. It's only just %. But I figure, you know, I'm probably going to be taking 2 tires during the green flag stop, so I may as well take 4 while you know, everyone's slowed up and the field's on a caution.
Well, how did that car feel up there up front, and how's the track feeling?
Not bad. I mean, it's I've only been up front I've been up front the entire time, so I'm not entirely sure what it's going to feel like towards the back of the field with around all the other cars. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, it's feeling good right now.
My next question, though, has got to be the last one here. You think you got the car to bring this thing home?
One of them, I'm not entirely sure what the rest of the field has got. We're all just single file there for those first 8 laps. So questions going to be answered once it gets down to crunch time and you see everyone making moves here left and right. So we'll see. I hope so.
Good deal. Well, congratulations and good luck out there, Ari.
I appreciate it.
All right, man. Let's get him on back down there to the SRA camp back there. And this is Bad Fast Boys. Came over here unpacked a couple seasons ago and did some awesome things. Well, Davis, let's pull it on down to pit road right there, man, to our pit road reporter, Ethan Kurtz. He's been down there, man, running up and down the pit road, talking to some drivers, and he's got a few of them there. I think he said he talked to Matt Hoover, Tyler Siffer, and Jake Nichols. Ethan, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, well, what you got?
Well, everybody I've talked to is complaining about the draft and how the draft is just not as powerful in this car as something like the truck or the Xfinity car, and how if you're that last car in line, you're really going to have to dig is the very informal term, but you're going to have to run very hard to keep up with the draft and if you want to stay in this fight.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, I mean, what are some of the other drivers like? I know you said you might have talked to like Matt or some of them. What do they think, man, their strategy is to combat that?
Well, the strategy for everybody is going to try to stay in the front. They really want to emphasize being in the front, not being the last car, just to run not as hard as possible, but hard enough to stay in that lead pack so they don't lose it.
Good deal. Well, hey, folks, that's Ethan Kurtz. Man, it's going to be busy all night long, all season long here. Going to be up running up down, giving us some good informal insight there, Davis, helping us out here, kind of giving us some info. Not only do we get some because there's going to be some tracks we just can't get drivers on a caution lap and get to talk to them. He's going to be able to get there and talk to them for us, man, so it's going to help us out and give us what these guys are feeling like during the race.
Yeah, and that's an awesome thing we're doing here at OSR Network, and he's really going to be able to give us an insight and get in those drivers' head. That way we can see what they're feeling and see what they're thinking. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, caution here for the first time tonight here under the lights, Daytona International Speedway. That's right here, ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Well, out front, Jake Nichols, Mike Franklin there, Tyler Sippert, Tom Whitmore, Michael Muller, Ariotti's up there. And like Ari said, man, you got to be very careful. It's going to be the first time he's going to be in traffic, so it's going to be interesting to see what that car feels like. And I just got a feeling, I think he's got a fast enough car to get back up front.
Yeah, I really do, Joe. He knows what he's doing. He's an experienced veteran, even though this is his first time at Extreme. But it's going to be really interesting to see what he does and see how he drives around these other drivers, because these drivers in Extreme Motorsports, they've never driven around him either. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, and we'll get a good glimpse.
It is. And if I'm not mistaken, he is actually the defending champ over at SRA in their Cup Series. I forgot to ask him about that, but if I'm not mistaken, I kind of keep up with a lot of what's going on here and there, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe he is, so he definitely knows how to wheel one of these things.
You know what? I'm smelling a little bit of rivalry between him and Jake Nichols. Battle of the champs.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what, it definitely is. It's kind of a rivalry, and it's kind of a good rivalry we see here, SRA versus Jake Nichols Racing. But like I say, don't count out that Performance Motorsports. Bad Fast Tom Whitmore right there. He is sitting there, and Mike Franklin. So you can't count that team out. As here we go, pace car's coming out of turn number 4, and it's going to set its sights on. Here we go. Boom, side to side ride with Bobby Chaney again on this start. See what he sees in the back. But here we go, green flag in the air. Jake's going to take him to the line, this time by Mike Franklin, though, says not so fast. I got my partner on the inside, Tom Whitmore. We're going to sit that high line. Now here's going to be the question. If Jake gets out front, does he leave Tyler Sifford, his dancing partner, and go low?
We'll have to see him find out. I mean, it's anyone's ball game. It's early in the race, but I don't think you want to step on too many toes, especially it only being lap 12.
Well, they are teammates, and it does look very good. As everybody notices, yes, they are running OSR Network colors out there. I do appreciate those guys for doing that. It's awesome, but it is kind of cool to see Dre Broadcast Network machine up there, and Mike Franklin there powering that thing on the inside, the 82. He's got the 6 on his back deck lid, the 27 right there. Michael Muller, don't count him out. Ryan Keese is another one. Wow, look at him bringing the Chick-fil-A mobile up there. Hey, he's bringing chicken to us there.
Hey, look at that 77. Just look at the gap between the 77 and the 7 of Tyler Sifford. He's closed it up right now, but for about half a lap there's probably about 2 car lengths between them. But I think they're about to get to the low side right now because they realize that high side's not working.
Yeah, it is. High side's not working just like they want. Looks like we got 2 packs, though, here about to form up just a little bit because you got to go back to the 13th place spot there. Ariotti, well, actually, Ariotti's still sitting there in the 9th place spot as he is caught on the outside groove. Look at Bobby Chaney, though. We call him Mr. Consistency. Didn't have the season he wanted last season, but here he comes. And I'm going to tell you, Tyler Sifford and Jake Nichols, they look in the rearview mirror, they got to say, you got to be kidding me. Where did the 24 come from? We battled him a season ago, and look who's coming to the front. I'm going to tell you, it's like you said, Jake Nichols, SRA, but don't count it out because you've also got Performance Motorsports. That's 3 teams in a row right up there, Davis.
The 24, Bobby Chaney, like you said, he didn't have the season he wanted last year, but he's coming back this season with a vengeance, and look for him to be up front all season long.
Absolutely. Mr. Popularity right there, the number 7, Tyler Sifford, already got everybody jumping up and down out in the chat. Definitely, they're singing praises and high. Mike Franklin out front, Tom Whitmore sitting in second. You got that 27, Michael Muller right there in between them. Ryan Keese, he is up there. Hang on to your hats. Where in the world Matt Hoover come from?
He's taking that Burgess Construction Chevrolet up to the front right now, and he's got the 73 of Jake Nichols behind him.
Yes, he does. Definitely got one of the best in the business right there on his back deck lid, pushing him around this track. He definitely is going to learn a lot there. As you're right, Jake Nichols sits in 6th, Tyler Sifford sits in 7th, Bobby Chaney 8, Ariotti 9th, Cameron Hearn in 10th. Boy, that's a who's who of names all in the top 10 there.
Now, I was watching it a minute ago, a couple laps ago, the 73 went to go down on the low side behind Matt. You could have couldn't even put a credit card between their fenders. It was that close, but the 73, Jake Nichols had enough heads up to let off and avoid a big, nasty wreck there.
And the good thing about this car is, as opposed to the package last night, is you can get out here and bump draft with these cars a little bit. Last night's car was so etchy you couldn't get there, but look at this on the high side. SRA says not so fast, gentlemen. We're bringing it to the front. Bobby Chaney says, how you doing, Mr. Popular? I'm about to make you unpopular in a minute because I'm consistent. And he's bringing Ariotti along with him. Cameron Hearn's coming the high side. They're going to try it and see if they can pull it to the front.
There's no patience here. They don't want to sit back in the pack and wait for something to happen. They're going to make something happen, and they're going to get to the front.
Yeah, absolutely. You got Mike Franklin up top, too, sitting there. He's out front. Tom Whitmore's jockeying around, seeing if he can't do anything. He sees those 3 cars coming and coming in a hurry. Jake's staying down low. Matt's down low. Ryan Keese down low. It's going to need, I think they're going to need a little help. Here comes Bryce Sinesak, says, hang on, fellas, I'm coming to the party to help you out.
13, he was trying to go that high side, but he thought better of it and stayed on the bottom side.
Yeah, you got that right. So you got 3 cars up high. They are coming to the front. I think Tom Whitmore's thinking about if they get close enough, he might pop out there and help them out. He might try to drive to the front. He understands that the guys coming on the high side definitely have very fast cars and a lot of talent to boot along with it. Jake is content to run where he's at right now. So is that man, Michael Muller. As here comes Bobby Chaney and the Express up front. Now remember, Bobby Chaney won one of these races a couple seasons ago.
Yes, he did, and look, man, they've got some power into that. They were starting to make the way. They're getting a run on the back stretch and the front stretch, but once they enter the entry of the corner, it just looks like they're losing all their momentum, but they're still making ground nonetheless.
They are. It's very hard in these cars to make that high side go, and that's just what we're seeing right here. It takes a slew of cars, but if anybody can get it done, it's the SRA Camp Sim Racing Authority, and they are bringing it with authority. But up front, Mike Franklin is the man on point with Tom Whitmore glued to his back deck lid, and he's got Michael Muller right there, that 27, and Ryan Keese, he is all up there along with old Matt Hoover. But you got to look, here they come down the bad stretch. They're going to try to powerhouse those guys there as they are going for the lead right now.
The number 6 is Tom Wetmore. He thought about it. I thought he was going to take it too, but then he's stuck on the bottom and he's staying there. But look at him. Look at the 24 of Bobby Cheney. He's going to the front. He's going to get there. Give him about another lap and a half and he'll be there.
Bobby Cheney probably said I was a little bit too consistent last season, got myself in trouble. Now I'm going to try to bring this thing to the front. He is definitely bringing it to the front in a hurry. But it's just like you said, it's like a brick wall with these cars. You get so far up front and you can't go any further. It's like you can see them right now. They're losing that momentum. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if some other cars might jump up there and try it. At some point in this race, somebody's going to have to try that high line like they are.
They're going to have to jump up in front of them. I don't think you're going to see any of these drivers jump in behind them just to the risk of losing the draft. If they were to go to the front, go to the back of them and then lose the draft, they're going to get freight trained by the bottom line, and next thing they know, they're 10 seconds behind the leader.
You got that right. They'll drop just like rock in water right here. But I'll tell you what, the whole top 13 machines are all nose to tail in a single file, and they are 2 sets deep right here as we're coming to the line. Lap 20, almost actually lap 21, going to be complete of 100 here under the lights. Daytona International Speedway, and these boys are business picking up front right now. You see Mike Franklin still out front, Tom Whitmore in second. Michael Muller right there, Ryan Keese, but look at Bobby Cheney up high. He's got his dancing partner, Ariati, right there, along with Cameron Hearn. Now there's the first person that's going to jump up and help him, the 27.
Yeah, that's a new name in the Extreme Motorsports, too. I don't think I've seen him before, but he said, hey, I want to get to the front. I want what y'all got going on.
Absolutely, and then he picked a good partner to do it. Might slow their momentum down just a teeny bit, him jumping up there, but eventually I think with those 4 cars up there, well, as I said, that Cameron Hearn says, I'm gonna duck back down in line for right now. I think it's just going to need these cars to get up there and move and move. There goes Cameron Hearn. Now we got 4. Let's see what these 4 can do up top, along with the 4 and 5 down on the bottom.
Yeah, 67 dropped down to pick his momentum back up, and then as soon as he had his momentum, he went right behind the 77.
100% right there. Mike Franklin still out front commanding this one. He is like, let's hold them at bay here, Tom. We're doing a good job so far. Ryan Keese sitting in third. Michael Muller, like you just said, he's up high in the fourth. Got Bobby Cheney glued to his deck lid. Tom's thinking about pushing up. Can't do it. He says, I better stay right here. But look at the power they got coming out of turn 4. The complete lap 21 of 100 here tonight under the lights of Daytona. And like we just said, you wanted the best of the best. You're getting some of the best racing right here.
Yeah, but if you look between the cars, there's about maybe a quarter of a car length between them, but they just can't get up on the bumper and push them like you can those Xfinity cars.
Yeah, that's the problem, and that's the package that is dealt with on these cars. You see Ariati just falls back a little bit, and that's what hurts that top line. They can't get glued together like the bottom line is here, and Davis is what we see. It's not like those trucks and those Xfinity cars where you can't get up. The problem is the truck, yeah, you can get up there and beat and bang all night long. Xfinity, you can get to the bumper. The problem is you don't want to beat and bang. These, well, you're sitting back there going, really? Come on. That's like fishing, man, trying to bring in a big bass. It just takes so long to reel them in.
And we've seen that top line get bigger, but they're still going further back. It's just they got a weird package going on with these Cup Series cars, and it's really frustrating as a driver to get behind the wheel and you know you got the speed, but you just can't get up there.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be interesting to see right now what these guys are experiencing up top and just see what they can actually do. I mean, they are still hanging strong up there. They haven't dropped all the way back. So at this point, why not stick up there, see what you can do throughout this race? This is probably the best I've seen some cars up high do. Usually they do just fall to the back there.
Yeah, but I'm really surprised, too, that it's even double file right now. I expected these guys to be single file for most of the race, but, hey, they're making it exciting for the fans, and they want to get up there and they want to lead some laps and get those bonus points as well.
Absolutely. Rockstar driver out there says, let's go SRA. You got that right. SRA, Sim Racing Authority, and these boys are bringing authority, just like we said. The Unpacked here came to Daytona with some big haulers, big cars, big power, big egos, and said we're going to do big things. Look at that up top, though. Ryan Keese says, I want to try that high line. The problem is they split him 3 wide. He went too late.
And that does not look good for the 28 of Ryan Keeson. He's probably gonna fall back unless someone goes with him. But hey, I say that, and Bobby Chaney goes with him, leads the number 27 after drive.
Yeah, he does. Leads Michael Muller. We'll see what Ariotti does. Oh, well, he's able to get in between them two. Harry couldn't push up there just quite yet. So now you got that 28 machine. I believe it's 28. Yep, Ryan Key's 28 machine. Now let's see what he can do, because Jake's not quite up there on the back end of Matt Hoover yet to give him any help against these 3 or 4. Kind of a spread out draft-wise up here, as we can see. I mean, look at the car distance between them right now. That's not the optimal drafting formation you'd want.
It's really not. As we see, that top line just dissipates just like that. Within one turn, it's dissipated, and there's only 2 cars on the top side. Another thing they got to worry about too is getting around lap traffic. If the lap cars are staying high, they're being courteous, but you know, anything can happen, and one wrong mistake, and it can take the whole field out.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. One little miss up, one little mistake here will definitely take these guys, man, right out of the equation. Well, now we're seeing that top side dissipate just a little bit. As the man right there, 73, moves on the inside. And now Bobby Cheney and company says, okay, we're going to go down low. We tried the high side. We'll see what we got. Might be a mental note to keep up with as later on in the race towards the end here.
Yeah, but right now, Joe, these drivers, they're taking notes. They're trying different things because they're getting ready for that last lap pass in turn 4. And every little thing counts, and they're taking note of it.
Well, you know, we said last night it only takes inches to win, and that's all you need. We were talking about Marty Ray last night with that damage. At least I was, man, throughout and out, and was impressed how well he was able to stay up front. It only would have took a splitter there for him to win that thing, and he got out front, so it definitely doesn't take much. They know they can get up there with the car on the high side. They're going to need help to get it done, and that's all they need is just to get up there side by side. Well, let's see, man, if Ethan Kurtz has met up with anybody. Let's go down on the pit road here and see if he's got any insight of what's been happening. Ethan, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you what, you got any updates on anybody out there saying anything, or how do they feel about how this draft is going on so far?
Well, I got a quick word in with the crew chief of the 67 to Cameron Hearn right after their top line fell apart, and it's going to sound like I'm going to be on replay all day or all night, but they're saying the same thing, and it's just this draft is not strong enough to have support on the high side to do anything.
Yeah, well, and I 100% agree with you here. It's what me and Davis are seeing up here in the booth. And as we say that, we're going to see if the Superman himself can do anything up top right there. Appreciate that report there from our pit road man there himself, Ethan Kurtz. Man's going to be busy all night long. And like I said, might sound like a broken record, which me and Davis probably will too up here, talking about this package, because look, even the mighty man of steel up there in the 73 can't get that high side going quite yet.
Yep, and he's going to continue fighting it, but he's going to, as soon as he gets clear of the 27, I think it's going to drop down on the low side.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what, let's see what we got. We got a second pack going on back here in the back, and that's actually back behind old Bobby Cheney right there. Got a few cars, Bryce Senesack, old Nick Hunt's in the mix there. Yeah, Nick Hunt's been able to move up. So the top 16 are still within a second and a half of each other.
Yep, they are, and you see Bobby Cheney up front, but it looked just like that. He's about 10th, 9th position right there, so you can lose the draft in a hurry.
Yep. Well, I tell you what, you got to go back way back here. Delonte Ballard, another SRA member here, not having the night he wants. Him and Eric Tash back in the back, and I think they might have got caught up in that wreck earlier on. I don't see any damage on their machine. They are way back. Got that slam machine out there, Twitch slam machine. Side, let's see what we got. So Delonte, he's got old Josh Connor back there with Mike Rominger, along with him and Richie Evans back there. That's a 4-car, but they're way off the pace, about 20-some seconds back.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any damage on him, but I did see the number 21 of Delonte Ballard, excuse me. He lost connection, and he had to reconnect to the server, but he was luckily able to get the free pass under that first caution.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, good deal, man. Awesome. As we still see the battle up front, watch those 4 cars back there. Jake's still trying that high line. He's got his man, the number 7, Tyler Sifford, up there with him. He's going to see if they can bring it. Whoa, Sifford had to move evasively right there. And, boy, I tell you what, that could have been disastrous if he hadn't watched out.
Yeah, I'm going back and look at it right now, and you're right, Joe, he did. He had to cut down to the bottom really quick.
And we said it last night, or I said it last night, everybody's leaving the 73 out to dry. Nobody's up top. Well, I say nobody's up top, but the cars that are up there with him are further back. You know, hey, you got to beat the Superman somehow, and I guess this is about the way you do it. You got to gang up on him.
And it's not because the 73 of Jake Nichols done anything bad or anything. The guy's one of the most respected guys in the league. Everyone likes him. It's just, like Joe said, you got to find a way to beat Superman. You got to pull some kryptonite out.
Absolutely. Well, we used to have a guy here we called Kryptonite. Might have to find me a new one out here. And Ariati might be that Kryptonite here tonight. It might get it done. He's still up there. It's just a package. Tom Whitmore, well, he's running really strong with that Dre machine. And as I say that, now he's got help, Jake does. Let's see if those three cars on the outside can push up there and get past old Mike Franklin.
That's the 46 of Mark Bratcher. He's another new guy that's came into the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Cup Series.
100% they did. And tell you, we got a lot of new guys out here, a lot of new faces here. Be interested to see what some of these guys, man, are definitely feel how they enjoy the racing. Up top, though, you still got Jake right there. And he's got, looks like, it's not Michael Muller. I think it's Cameron. Mark Bratcher. Did I say that right?
Yep, Mark Bratcher.
Okay, cool.
That's one of the new guys I was talking about. And yep, like you said, we got a lot of new faces, got a lot of new names to get right. So if I messed any of them up, I'm sorry, guys. Just send me a message or send me something after the race, and I'll get it all straightened out.
Absolutely. Well, don't feel bad. I'm probably the #1 man on messing up last names here. As we see up front, Mike Franklin, Tom Whitmore, Matt Hoover, Jake Nichols, Michael Muller, Cameron Hearn, Mark Bratchard right there, Ryan Keese, Bobby Cheney, Tyler Sifford rounds the top 10. Ariati's just right out of it. And old Jake, he just can't do anything. Stuck up high there as they steal a single file down low at a freight train. Man, Ethan's down there getting us insight. Said he's went down there and done talk to Tom and Mike. So let's go back down there and see what Ethan Kurtzman has for us on pit road. Ethan, got a copy?
Yes, sir.
What you got?
I got a quick comment in with Mike and Tom before Jake started that threat, but it looks like they've backed off a little bit. And I asked them, I was surprised with this, I asked them if they were going to be worried about the high side of all this race, and surprisingly, they said yes. They said eventually, once it gets later in the race and the cars start going up there, they're going to be scared of it, but for right now, they're not scared of it. And another interesting thing I heard when I joined, or when I got on top of that pit box, was they were talking about pitting soon. And I went out and did a little research and found out 50% or 55% fuel these cars are running. The pit window is going to be 30 to 35 laps, and people are talking about pitting soon.
Yep, yeah, well, you're right. We had that one caution there, and it was early on here in the early going, so definitely we got green flag pit stops. That's something we definitely haven't looked at. And you were talking about it there, Davis, too. You thought this thing would go green for a long time. Well, we've had a long green flag run here. Tire wear, definitely not, I don't want to say it's not important, but it's not the utmost importance like what we will see next week at Las Vegas.
Yep, you're right. And this is a completely different racetrack from Las Vegas. You're going to see a bunch of close door-to-door action. And next week, it's all going to be about tire wear. I did some practice with the Xfinity cars, did about 14 laps. Within 14 laps, my right front was at 70% wear. That's unheard of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a lot of wear on a tire right there to be around here. Well, definitely Daytona. You know, it's not one to be very hard on tires. As we saw, Jake did take 2. Now, Ariati, who we're riding along here with on a side-by-side here to show you what he looks like out his windshield, he took 4. Here's the thing, on a green flag, he took 4 last time. He could afford to take 2 here. Jake's going to have to take the other side of 2, so it might be a trade-off here on what we're seeing.
Yeah, it will, but I think we're going to see everyone is going to take 2 tires. No one's going to take 4 under green. But you wouldn't think it, but tire wear is going to have some, it's going to come into play here, especially if we stay green like this. We're going to see it come into play, and these cars are going to start to become really ill-handling.
Yeah, 100% there. Well, folks, I want to appreciate everybody coming out here tonight because we're live under the lights here, Daytona International Speedway for Extreme Motorsports 99.com. These are some of the best of the best. Mike Franklin still commanding this one out front. Tom Whitmore right there on his back deck lid. Matt Hoover and the Hoover machine, man, up there running good in third. Michael Muller sitting in fourth. Cameron Hearn in fifth. And these guys, man, got monster machines flying around. So appreciate it. If you like what you see, hey, hit a like, hit a share, hit a sub. First time here, we appreciate it. I know the drivers, the leagues, the teams, everybody. I appreciate all the viewers coming out watching it. That's what we do it for. Appreciate Davis, man, and Ethan being up here. Like I say, throughout the whole entire race, you're going to hear Ethan Kurtz. He's going to be jogging up and down, man, got his go-kart running up and down pit road, getting reports for some drivers here and there. And he's already got a ton of reports for us here as we went through this race. And me and Davis is up here just seeing a thriller. What we're seeing so far, Davis, is pretty much what we thought we'd see. Single file for right now. They tested the waters on the outside. We're about to see some green flags. When we see green flags, that's when it's going to separate this field a little bit.
Yep, as soon as they start pitting, everyone's going to separate. And these drivers are going to have to get on pit road. They're going to have to get out in there fast. Make sure they do not make a mistake. Because if you make a mistake on pit road, you're not over. You're not done. Because you're going to lose that draft and you're just going to fall back.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, let me know how everything looks, sounds out there, folks. As always, want to make sure everything looks good. Hey, let me know how to comment. I'm kind of curious. I didn't want to ask. Just want to see if somebody brought it up. But hey, let me know what you feel about how the Ethan doing all the pit road reporting for us here from the drivers. If you like it, the side-by-side. You know, hey, if you like it, if you don't, let me know. Leave a comment to me. Hey, shoot me a message. Say, Joe, man, that's the dumbest thing I ever seen in the world. I'd rather see a hot dog on the side or something. But, hey, whatever. Either way. I'm just saying.
We see the 28. He went to the outside, but then he jumps back in. I think they're about to go down pit road and probably get one of them hot dogs you were talking about.
Hey, I said it last night with Dave. The slogan here, OSR Network, we make broadcasting fun. That is the whole thing that we do here. We make it fun here. If you want high pressure, high professionalism, well, they do that on Sundays, man, in real life. So there you go. But the action we're seeing is still some professional action out here. These guys are putting on a very, very good show. Mike Franklin is commanding this one, and he's doing what he is. And as we say that, here we go. Everybody's coming in pits.
Wow. I did not expect that many to go in at once. They're all going down. They got to get the speed down, make sure they don't speed, get their tires, get their fuel, and head out of there.
Holy cow, what looks like a traffic jam I-85 here in Charlotte in the morning time. You ever been down that way, Davis?
I have not, Joe.
Well, I tell you what, either where you're at, you probably got some backed up traffic, but that's what it looks like in the morning. Can't go nowhere. Everybody's bumper to bumper honking the horn at each other. And that's what it looked like on pit road. And you were right. Looks like most guys took 2 tires. There's a couple of them that took 4.
Yeah, there was a lot more that took 4 than I thought they were. And you see that front pack out there is already out. And those guys that take 4, man, I just got to believe that wasn't a smart decision. But I'm not in the driver's seat, so don't yell at me or nothing. But they're gonna lose that front pack right there unless they can get it together and something happens.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, Becky, I know you don't like change out there, but when I made this ticker, I had you in mind. I said Becky likes to be able to see everything, so you should be able to see everything very clear and whatnot. But you got to make new things, got to make things very interesting here. So. Got to keep it innovative. There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
A driver I see in trouble was seeing Matt Hoover in the Birdie's Construction Chevrolet. He was in 3rd place when he came on pit road. He took 4 tires, and now him and the number 83, they're back in the pack by themselves, and I don't think they're going to be able to catch back up.
Yep, you got that right. Hell, John said, yeah, I-45 or Loop 610 in Houston. Yep, there you go. Traffic jam, Daytona Beach. Absolutely, 100%. Well, the traffic jam right now, and it's what we just talked about here, Davis, is they're split up just a little bit in a little pack. They didn't get split up as bad as we thought because Mike Franklin, Tom Whitmore, Cameron Hearn right there, but you got Ariotti, and he's got help from Ryan Keese, Bobby Chaney, Jake Nichols, and Tyler Sippard right there. They're going to catch them here shortly. Yeah, they are, Joe. You're right. And I think that's going to be the lead pack right there. It's going to be about a
It's going to be an 8-car pack for the lead right there, but these other drivers that missed out, they're going to be hoping for a caution here pretty soon to get back caught up.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we've only had one caution here tonight so far at Daytona for a wreck up front. Didn't take out as many as we thought it would. We started with 33. We still got a good 23 or so.
Yeah, we got about 18 cars on the lead lap right now, but another person we were talking about earlier, Delonte Ballard, we were showcasing them and their little group at the back of the pack, and they went a lap down.
Oh, wow. You know, that's what happens with what is it, a green flag pit stops. Guys just go a lap down, and there's not a lot you can do. There's another gentleman, man, I want to talk about real quick, right fast. That's Jeffrey Applegreen. Man runs over in the Next Gen Racing, actually NGRL, Next Gen Racing League. Man, they run the trucks on Sunday night, run their K&N series on Friday night. Man's come over here the first time here tonight, over here at ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Got invited to the Cup Series. Definitely looking good. Currently, right now, running in the 12th spot. He's got Michael Muller there, David Elliott around with him. But he's a really good guy. They got some cool nicknames over there. They call him Jeffrey Owl Applegreen, and I always say the Owl Man, and he's hooting around the track.
I like that nickname, Joe.
Yeah, they got some cool nicknames. They got a guy over there named Nuke and Stealth and Mud and Dirt, and I'm going, yeah, okay, y'all just giving me a lot of ammunition to go off now.
You're right, Joe, and we see him right now that that lead pack is caught back up, and it's just going to be a little 8-car battle here, but I'm thinking it's going to happen sooner or later. We're going to get a caution here pretty soon.
You know, and the tensions always build. It's lap 45 of 100 here. We're getting about halfway here in another 5 laps. It's one of those things that business will pick up as the race goes on. These guys right now are doing what we typically thought would happen here at Daytona with the Cup machine, and that is kind of run in a single file line. It's the product of the car, it's the product of the package, the product of the track. I mean, there's not a lot these guys can do. It's pretty much follow the leader as of right now, but at some point, they will test the waters and go to the outside.
Yep, you're right, Joe, and it's just a little bit too early right now, but they still got to make one more pit stop. They said the field window's about 35 laps or so. They'll still have to make one more about probably lap 75, lap 80 or so, and that'll leave them to about 20 to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, yeah, that's right. The man's out there. He's wanting the OSR Network rundown order. Well, let's see if we can actually give him one. Usually a little tougher to do on the actual Daytona, but they're in a single file order right now. Mike Franklin, a man out front right here, looking very, very good. He started in the 5th spot, currently running first. Man behind him, Tom Whitmore in that Dre Broadcast Network machine, looking good. Sitting there in 2nd spot behind him. Cameron Hearn in 3rd. You know, Ryan Keys moving it up from 15th. Got the Chicken Machine, Chick-fil-A out there, currently in the 4th place spot. Out in the 5th place, man on pole tonight. He's got from the SRA camp, Ariotti right there in the 5th currently. Behind him, he's got his teammate, Bobby Chaney, Mr. Consistency himself. Came from 24th, currently sitting in 6th. Behind him, Jake Nichols. We know who that is. That's the Superman himself sitting right there. And Tyler... Whoa. Come back to it. All right. Well, hang on a second. We'll get back to Tyler Sifford as Iracing decided it was just going to blink. They did that the other night for some reason. Either way, all right, Tyler Sifford sitting in the 8th spot. 9th place man, Wesley Crump. 10th place man, right there, the man, the Birdie Construction Machine himself, Matt Hoover, currently came from 17th up to 10th. You got Jeffrey Applegreen, was just talking about him, good-looking car he's got there, currently running 11th. 12th place man, David Elliott. 13th, old Nick Hunt. He's got his Phoenix Society machine out there running. Behind him, the 14th place, Michael Muller. 15th, Eric Tess, Iceman from the Netherlands, out currently running 15th. 16th place, James Thorndike. And 17th, Bryce Senesack, currently running in 17th now. 18th, Delonte Ballard in the Slam Twitch machine out there. Looking good. Another SRA camp. Call him the showstopper out here. Behind him, Mike Rominger, Mr. Extreme himself, running in 19th. 20th place, Mark Bratchard, one of the newcomers here tonight, currently in 20th. 22nd, John Conover sitting on pit road. And actually got Ryan Evans, his 21st. He's a couple laps down. In 23rd position, Daniel Haney. 24th on pit road, tore up a little bit, Fisher Cannon. And we got Vern Bradley's out. Mason Weitzel's currently sitting back in the 26th spot. We got a lot of cars, man, are out of the picture as of right now. That's why it kind of went. John T. Wimmis right there is one of them on pit road, all tore up. Gotta hate that on his end. But it takes us back up here to the man on point, Mike Franklin. Wow.
Yeah, and he's still leading the pack even after those pit stops. He's the man to beat right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100% right. Well, I'll tell you what, definitely Fluffy. Yeah, Fluffy's the coolest name. Yeah, John Marine remembers Fluffy Garrett out there. Yep.
Is he out in the comment section?
Yeah, he's out in the comment. Well, that's what John said. He remembers a guy. There's another guy that actually that runs in one of the leagues. He goes by the name of Jason Fluffy Garrett, and I just call him Fluffy.
Oh, hey, he won the Daytona race with the Racing for a Cause.
That's right. There you go. Yep, that's right. He runs the Race for a Cause. Yep, call him Fluffy. And it's just cool, man, to go around the different iRacing communities and see the different names, get camaraderie rise and whatnot. I mean, not only here at Extreme, there's a lot of great guys out there that you'll get to meet, a lot of great females also. You know, most noticeably down there at the SRA camp, they got the cheerleader head girl themselves, Stephanie, down there. Oh, she's down there, man, rowing on this SRA camp. She came over here to make sure these boys were in order and were out there to do what they needed to do, and they have done what they needed to do so far, as Ariotti is sitting in 5th, Bobby Cheney 6th. Well, they're beating up on Jake Nichols. The thing about it is, though, Mike Franklin and Tom Whitmore are saying, look, quit talking about Jake Nichols racing. And we're sitting here in Performance Motorsports, and Performance Motorsports is the one out front right now that is beating up on the heavy hitter teams.
Yep, I can tell you what, Joe, Mike Franklin, he is in the best position right now, leading the pack around. We haven't seen that high side work yet. Now, it might come into play later in the race. There is no better position I'd want to be than that number 82.
You're 100% right. 82 is definitely sitting out front because he understands with this package, with this car, and this drafting here, being out front is probably, just like what you said, is probably the best place to be, because even if they go high, if Tom Whitmore jumped out high on him, it was going to be very hard for Tom unless he just gets a lot of cars to come with him to make that pass on him. I mean, it's going to have to be at the right time, at the right place, and just have to have the right amount of cars to go.
Yep, and what we're going to have to see is you're going to have to see the teammates get lined up a little bit, about 3 or 4 teammates get lined up in that top, and then they're going to have to go to the high side, and once they're there, then maybe they can make a run for it. But we're seeing all the teammates separated a little bit, and that's not playing into their favor.
Absolutely not. I'll tell you now, Michael Moeller right there earlier on was running up front. He's out in the back there and currently sitting at about the 13th spot. Got Eric Tash back there along with him. James Thorndike's there. David Elliott's along. Got about 4 or 5 cars. Nick Hunt's in the mix there along with them. Just not the place they've got off pace. This green flag pit stops have really messed them up a little bit. As long as those cars up front stay nose to tail, it's going to be very hard for any packs to try to run them down.
Yeah, Joe, I've harped on it earlier, and I'm going to harp on it again. As a driver, it's the most frustrating thing in the world. Not being able to get up there, knowing you got a fast car, but just getting dealt with some little bit of bad luck, didn't deal your cards right. It's so frustrating.
You're 100% right. Definitely the most frustrating thing in the world to be able to do here is just know that you got to sit right there. And wow, and just a second.
It's more of a not being able to deal, not being in control of the situation. You got to have something else happen and not being able to control your own destiny.
And you know, that's also a big product of plate track racing. I've said it time and time again, and everybody knows I'm known for it. I like the more skilled style tracks, and when I say that, I mean I like the tracks where you have to, that unknown is not put in there, that you have more of the control over what you can do. And I understand putting your car in the right place, having the right dancing partner at the plate tracks is the way to do it. But like what you just said, there's still that unknown, and at some point, you gotta have a little luck to get up front and do it. And with that said, we got Ethan Kurtz down there. He's got up into the SRA bunch there. Let's see what Ethan's got for us down on pit road here, Davis. Ethan, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. So, I got up to a couple of the pit boxes, Bobby Chaney and Ariati, most specifically. And they're bringing up the normal, how the draft is so important. You're going to need a lot of help to get anything done. But something I wasn't expecting out of them was they said that tire wear might have been an issue. They noticed some of the cars that were in front of them and in the draft with them had started to move around a little bit out of the corner and whatnot. And they're thinking that maybe left side tire wear is going to be more important than any of us thought.
Okay, well, that's a good insight there, because Ben Davis was up here talking about it. You know, normally you don't hear that a lot at a plate-style track. I mean, you will hear it as the run goes on and so forth, but you don't hear it a lot. And it's kind of interesting to hear what these guys are saying. Now, it could just be, like we said, hey, the product of this package on the cup machine. It could have changed that much, Davis. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, you're right, Joe. It could have. I mean, they got a new package out here. Iracing's always updating it. They did a big update a couple weeks ago, changed the tire wear around. And, you know, it could come into play here, and it could be a completely different race than we've seen last year.
100%. I mean, as far as drafting-wise go, it's still looking like a typical way to be it. We did see, though, them guys going to the high side earlier on and was able to make that high side work for a while. You don't have to pass the guy up high all the way. You just got to get your nose out front in front of him. So what we saw there, they were able to get up to the leader on the high side. As before, I think it was just very hard for 2 or 3 cars to get up there. You needed probably a whole line of them to make that high line work. So, you know, the SRA guys understand that. But again, if tire wear plays a factor like what they're saying, that could come into play later on if we keep going in the green flag here and guys are on, you know, older style tires to be able to push that outside lane up to the front.
Yep, you're right, Joe. And we're just going to have to wait and find out and see what it works. But then again, like I said before, I'd rather be in the 82 Mike Franklin shoes. He's got the bottom. He's got full control over this field. And if this thing stays green, I think you're going to see the number 82 of Mike Franklin in victory lane.
I'll tell you what, got a good question out there in the chat. Becky Sifferman brought this up. Maybe Ethan can run down and figure it out and see what we got. Mike Franklin still commanding this one. Tom Whitmore up front. She asked, out of the top 8 machines out there right now who are nose to tail, which one of them probably is going to need the 4 tires and the fuel the most to make it the whole entire way? I mean, they're going to have to make another pit stop. Everyone is. And my question is, who's going to try to gamble with 2? Who's going to take it to the 4? And, you know, what's going to be the strategy? That's basically what she's asking, I believe. We can get Ethan, man, on the prowl down there through the teams, maybe get one of the top 8 ones down there to see. I know they're not going to give us any of their secrets, Davis, but, hey, it's worth a shot.
You know, you're right, Joe, but as a driver, I'd take 2.
You know,
we've seen what happened.
That's true, and you know, like a person like Ariati, who took 4 on like that caution, and took 4 on one of those other pit stops. He's in the catbird seat as far as taking 2 tires and maybe having the best tire wear out there, and that might be playing in the mind of him, you know, as far as Jake. But again, you can't take anything away from a guy like Jake. I mean, we can't just sit up here and say, well, that's a bad move, Jake. Although he is his worst critic. I've heard him say it before. He's lost in 1 races on pit road because of bad pit judgment on bad calls. So he'll admit to himself that it will happen. It'll be interesting to see how it plays off here, because right now, I mean, they're still out front. Mike Franklin's got this one under control. Has been for most of the race. Tom Whitmore still glued to his front. You got Cameron Hearn there, Ryan Keese, Ariati. I mean, you got Bobby Chaney, Jake Nichols, Tyler Sifford. That's your top 8 right there that are all under a blanket up front. It will be anybody, any one of those guys could take this thing home tonight.
Yep, you're right, and we're just going to have to see how it plays out. And you're right, anyone can take it home. But like I said, the 82, he's looking really good. But we got about 20 laps to go before they start making that final pit stop.
Yeah, 100% there. Well, let's get on down. I think Ethan Kurtz has caught up with a lot of the drivers down there, maybe a couple of the top 8 here. For the question we was asking earlier on, Ethan's Joe in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got to go down to a couple of the team channels, and obviously, like you said, they're not going to tell me much, because, hell, they don't know if I'm going to go down and tell other teams and whatnot, but some people, I'm not going to say tires, Nobody said 4. That's all I'm going to say is nobody said 4. Definitely different strategies going on with teams trying to communicate and team up with one another.
All right, well, good deal. And that's probably that's about what me and Davis were saying up here. And Davis, he reiterated that as a driver, he would take 2. If a caution came out now, Davis, would you still take 2? Me, I'd take 4 under caution.
We see how hard it is to get track position. I'd take 2 because you're going to have to take 2 either way. You're not going to take a 0 because you're going to be out of fuel. So you're going to have to get a full can of fuel. So you're definitely going to take 2. But if a caution came out, I would 100% take 2 tires. Because track position right now, as we've seen, is everything.
On a caution?
Oh, yeah. If I'm sitting in 6th, 7th, 8th, 10th place, yeah, I'd take 2 because you got to get up there to the front.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. And then my only thinking of it in the caution is the whole field would be bunched back up. So everybody would be back there. Yeah, I mean, the 2 tires right now, obviously, we know are working. So we can sit up here, man, talk about it all day long. I think it's going to be also, it's going to be whoever ducks on the out, it's going to be whoever's going to take that gamble and try to go to the outside. Because it's basically going to be a gamble. Davis, hey, let's for instance, Cameron Hearn's sitting right there in 3rd spot. If he jumps outside, he's got to hope that Ryan Keys comes with him and doesn't leave him out to dry. So it's a gamble. Who's going to be the first one to duck outside and try to take the lead?
Yep, 10-4, Joe, you're absolutely right. And you're just going to have to see, you're going to have to hopefully you made some friends. You didn't tick anyone off. You didn't leave them out to dry because you're going to need every single friend that you can get when you get out there and go to that outside.
Yep, 100%. Well, I'm going to tell you what, we did it last night, and it froze up Dre's computer. Let's do it again tonight. We're going to go, man, side by side, 2 times the blimpy cam. We're going dual blimpy tonight. That's right. We're giving you all kinds of blimpies out here in the blimpy cam because we're going to show it here side to side. Dave last night said froze his computer. He said if I'd have had 3 of them, man, probably would have blew the thing up. Well, don't have 3 blimpies, but we got 2. That's more blimpies for everybody out there. What do you think? Gives you a good perspective of how huge this facility is at Daytona.
Yep, it really does, Joe. I've been lucky enough to go here probably about a dozen times. And, man, seeing this track in person, it is an awesome experience. I actually got to see my favorite driver win the Daytona 500, too.
Who's your favorite driver?
Mr. 7-time Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, okay. I don't like you anymore. Get out. Yeah, man, I tell you. Well, can't win them all, I guess. Oh, well. Hey, it is right, though. This is an awesome. They call it the epicenter of NASCAR, the motorsports here, because this is where it begins. This is where it's at here, folks. I mean, it's Daytona. Speed weeks come here, the big facility, big races. You know, big everything that gets done, and it's just an awesome place to come. I've never been myself, so matter of fact, I don't live far from Charlotte, which is another big race facility, but never been to that either. But you know, hey, it's probably just the electricity to come to Daytona. Everybody wants to win at Daytona.
You're right, everyone does, and every single time at that Daytona 500, the stands are packed. Everyone's riled up, ready to go. The atmosphere here is just unbelievable.
Yeah, 100%. Right now, the atmosphere up front. Mike Franklin still in command of this one, and he's got old Tom Whitmore still right there hanging on to the back deck lid of him. Cameron Hearn still in 3rd. You got Ryan Keys. He has done very impressive to hold up there, and that number 28 machine looking good. Ariati, the man out there in the SRA, the newcomer here at Extreme Motorsports 99. As I say that, wow, does that Mike Franklin blinked a little bit up there? Did you see that?
I did, Joe, and that's another thing these drivers got to be aware of, too, is connection issues, and we might see that come into play.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you definitely don't want to see on a plate track. Maybe another track not too bad. But when you're out trying to bump draft a guy, you definitely don't want him blinking. He can blink, come back in. You'd be right in the middle of him, end up a net code wreck and take out half the field, take yourself out. Definitely something you don't want to see. But like I said, I mean, you got to look. Bobby Chaney, Ariati, Jake Nichols, Tyler Sifford. Again, I wouldn't be surprised at the way this race is. I mean, it could just very well end like it is right here because of the package. There's just, what'd you say earlier? There's just not a lot you can do. you're at the helm, and you're at the mercy of what this car, the draft, and the track's going to give you.
Yep, you're right, Joe. You absolutely are. And to point back on your connection issue, yesterday during the Xfinity Series race, I don't know what was going on with my computer, but when I was in the draft, the cars were just bumping and glitching out. And I think it was something on my end, but that was the hardest thing to do because I don't know, when I push them, I couldn't get the right angle on them because it just kept blinking on my screen.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing old Tyler Sifford out there blink a little bit, and I know last night he was yelling at Becky saying, look, get off the computer or something. You're out here making my connection bad. Technology, you're right, John. You got to love it. Hey, even I have problems on technology. I'm just wondering up front with these guys. There's 31 to go. I'm going to say, and we still got that pit stop to come into mind. Every one of these guys are going to have to stop. You can't make it all the way, and unless there's a caution, and obviously that's going to mess it all up. But they definitely are going to have a caution here for these guys up front. And I got a feeling that's where, and as we say, guess what? Here comes the whole pack, and not all of them come in. SRA stays out.
Wow, and that's going to have, we almost see a wreck on the pit road with the number 6 of Tom Whitmore and the 67 of Cameron Hearn.
Wow, yeah, we did right there, very close as they still go side to side right there coming down on there. We'll see what Ryan Keese does here on his pit stop. Will give us an idea. I think he's going to tell, well, that goes the left side up. What's that?
Joe, Tom Whitmore, he just overshot his pit box.
Oh, that's going to hurt right there. And so did Matt Hoover. Watching him.
It looks like Tom Whitmore, he was going to take 4 tires, but he audibled to 2 when he slid past his pit box.
Wow. Well, Ryan Keese put a full fuel in that thing because he stayed on pit road an awful long time.
He did. I wonder if he might have got a penalty or something for speeding.
I don't know. That's going to mess up the front. Now, what I was about to say before they all come running down the pit road was they all had to make one, and I had a feeling that this last pit stop could be the winning move of the race. It could be what decides who brings this thing home.
Yep, it really could, Joe. And wow, we're seeing the Matt Hoover, the number 13. He's got completely separated from his pack.
Jake's still on pit road. Oh, and Tyler Sifford loses it on pit, spins it out. Uh-oh, wow. But Jake was on pit road an awful long time. I thought he pitted with that group, or he pitted after that group. Yeah, he pitted with the actual Bobby Cheney then. But Tyler Sifford, I don't know if you saw that, Davis, was coming out of the pits, I believe it was, and just looped it.
Yeah, I was trying to find him on here to replay it, and I'm looking at it right now, and wow, that is a costly mistake. You hate to see that.
Yeah, you do. Well, Jake's going to lose the draft up there to Ariotti and Bobby Cheney himself, respectively, as Mike Franklin, Tom Whitmore, and Cameron Hearn go right past the 77 and 24. Now, the thing about it is we thought it would separate them a lot. Might not be too bad. They're not that far ahead. I think Ariotti and them will get it. The one man, it might be a sitting duck, is the 73 of Jake Nichols. He doesn't have the draft and no help.
And I'm watching his pit stop right now, and I don't know what happened. I mean, maybe he got caught speeding down pit road. I mean,
I don't know. I have no clue. I mean, Bobby Cheney and Ariotti are still glued together right there, and they're coming. They're going to be able to get. Well, they definitely want to see this up here. They want to see them go around lap because they're going to be able to. They're teetering right down the edge of catching that draft. The guy, though, who is definitely losing it, that's going to be Jake Nichols back there in the 7th spot. Tyler Sifford, he's another one. He is almost 8 seconds back. A lonely man riding around himself, and so is Jake. And they know they're going to need a caution to get back up here.
Yeah, Joe, I went back and watched his pit stop. He didn't do anything wrong. He just had a bad pit stop. His crew was just a little late on it, about a second or so late. And, you know, that might have cost him the race.
Absolutely, and that's what I was going to say right before they all came down. This last pit stop is going to seal the deal on who's going to win this one. Might be the winning move. So Mike Franklin still out front here with Tom Whitmore sitting in second, Cameron Hearn. Now Ariotti has been able to catch up along with Bobby Cheney. So you got 5 cars in a row right there. Jake Nichols is 5 seconds off the leader, folks, and has no help out here running. As Tyler Sifford was coming off pit road and looped it around. No caution because it was on the pit road when he did it. and he is like 11.8 seconds off the pace. No help for the 73. And at it, you want to talk about, we were talking earlier, you want to talk about a lonely feeling? That definitely is a lonely, lonely feeling.
Yeah, but I'm looking at him right now. Looks like the next car behind him is David Elliott. He's about 6 or so seconds behind Jake, and they got about a 3-car pack right there. So Jake's just gonna have to hold tight and hope that second pack behind him catches him as quick as possible. And he's at least, I mean, he's not gonna be able to get back to the front pack, but he can keep from going a lap down and hope he can get a caution. Yeah,
caution, I believe, is his biggest friend right now. Wow, I tell you what, how quickly it can turn here at some plate track racing. It's just, wow. And then you want to talk about Ryan Keese and Matt Hoover. There are 2 other ones out there. They're just lonely. They're back there in 11th or 10th and 11th, respectively, and they're locked up by themselves. And wow, it's just, this green flag stop mixed it up a lot.
Yep, Joe, and say that Matt Hoover and Ryan Keese, yeah, if they don't get a caution here soon, they're going to go a lap down eventually. But I'm looking out front, and look who still's out front. Have they pitted?
Yes, Mike Franklin and them did pit. They came around Ariotti and Bobby Chaney, and when they came around them, I mean, Bobby Chaney and them were up to speed, and they were able to catch back up. So those front 5 machines, they're set and ready for the end of this one.
We got a caution.
Oh, with ours we go. That's what we wanted.
I got to tell you, Joe, I was not expecting to see a caution.
No, me either. Oh. Well, Iracing's not going to take me back on who it is. Did you see who it was?
I'm seeing the 42 key up. It might have been him because he's on pit road.
Okay. Yeah, Iracing took me back to 46, and I don't know why. Sometimes it does that.
I'll give you a little rundown of what happened. Looks like the 83 was just pushing the 42 in the corner, and all of a sudden the 42's car snapped and got him loose, and he went up and hit the wall.
All right, let's see if we can't get the replay back here and let the viewers see. Kind of give us an idea of what, tell you what, that is a saving grace for the 73 and the 7 right there, because without that caution, wow, they would have been like some sinking ships, like the Titanic going down very, very slowly.
Joe, that's not going to be a saving grace for the 7 because he was caught up in that, and he got into the wall, and he's got some pretty bad left side damage as well.
Oh, well, we're watching it right here again. The 83's right there behind the 42. That's David Elliott right there. You got the 82 machine of, I'm not sure is that the 82? Right?
83.
83, my bad. 83 machines right behind him. That's old Wesley Crump. As we're watching this one. Becky out in the chat said, "Oh Lord, I heard it coming." As they're coming around here, still watching this replay, I went back a little further because I don't know why Iracing wasn't wanting to take me on to what I wanted to. Those 2 were still locked up together. They're going around the lap car. They're coming up on another lap car here. And actually, they were coming up on Tyler Sifford. So I got a feeling when they were coming up on him, probably they were getting at the closing rate and probably trying to get a draft going on from him to help him out. So let's see what it is. They come out of there. Tyler goes low. David goes up high. Don't know exactly. 83 along with him. And Tyler, he jumps down in there. He just probably a product of just, wow. Wrong place, wrong time. As folks, we're still looking at this one. I took it back a little further because Iracing wanted to be a pain on me. And we're still watching this 82 machine. That, you know, but this right here, Davis is really, really going to mix it up. Now, everybody could come back on pit road, top off fuel, do what they need to do, maybe get those other side of tires if they want them, and then get back up here. Now, what's your mentality? Because it's going to be less than 20 to go. And, you know, we're just letting the viewers see this replay. But while they're watching this, what's the mentality now for the drivers? Going to be less than 20 to go.
Well, Joe, I'm looking right now, and the only cars that went down pit road were the 73 of Jake Nichols, the 83 and he had to go in because of damage 7 of Tyler Sifford and the 28 of Ryan Keese. So Jake Nichols looks like he was the only car without damage to come in.
Wow. Well, okay. All right. Well, that's what's the mentality now? Yeah, right there. 83, man, got into the 42, and Tyler Sifford up into the wall. Just wrong place, wrong time. Yeah. Finally called up to where we needed to catch up to. I took it like way on back.
You got to go for it now, Joe. It's go time. We're going to have about 18 laps to go here. It's go time. If you ain't showed your stuff yet, now's the time to do it. You want to get up front as quick as possible, grab that lead, and ride it off into victory lane.
Yeah, 100% here. Well, definitely Jake's got to be out there going, boy, I just dodged a major bullet. I mean, that was one that I definitely had to have because he would, like I said, he was like a lonely ship out there in the waters with a big hole in the side just sinking very, very slowly. Hate to see Tyler Sifford out there get caught up in this one. But it's not over with. Like you said, less than 20 to go when we go back green flag racing. Business is about to pick up front here as these boys will be double foul 2 times. Now we're going to see that outside lane. I mean, now's the time. Here, we haven't seen it all race long, but you can't give up on that outside lane now.
You got to go for it. You just can't sit back and lay back and give the win to the 82 of Mike Franklin. You've got to get up on that outside, try to make something work. And if it doesn't work, at least when you exit this race and get out of this race, you can say, hey, at least I tried something, and you won't have any regrets.
100% there. Well, you still got Mike Franklin up front, Tom Whitmore sitting in second here. Because we're live under the lights here tonight. Daytona International Speedway going to be a very, very good one here as we're getting closing laps. Ariati right there in that 77. Brought him over from SRA. Bobby Chaney says, come on over, my friend. We got a mission for you. And as always, these guys unpack. But they did not calculate Performance Motorsports coming here saying, look, we got our own weapons. Tom Whitmore, Mike Franklin up front have been the dominant dynamic duo all race long and have been up front and have commanded this one along with Cameron Hearn right there. And now Cameron Hearn's the lone man, if I'm not mistaken. He's down there with Mike Rominger, who is actually Alliance Motorsports. And he runs with those guys, so he's been able to hold his own up here amongst the powerhouse race teams of Performance Motorsports, SRA, and old Jake Nichols Racing. Now, Jake Nichols Racing now, though, losing his right-hand man, Tyler Sifford. It's going to be interesting. He has no help, no friends. The Superman is probably going to feel very lonely out here right now.
Yep, you're right. And I just pulled on to the number 7 of Tyler Sifford. He just got off pit road. He probably got most of his damage fixed, but that's still going to hurt him. Even though he got it all fixed, he's not going to be able to keep up with the draft, I don't think.
Yeah, interesting to see that the 28 took, or actually the 82, excuse me, Mike Franklin took the top lane there over the bottom lane of Tom Whitmore. Now, we saw this last night with Mason Weitzel. They are teammates, Mike Franklin and Tom. And what they did last night was one took high and the other one took low. And I had a feeling the reason they did that is because, well, when Mason went, he was able to get in front of him. I got a feeling that's what we're going to see here in just a second.
Yep, you're absolutely right, Joe. I think that's what we're going to see as well.
Yeah, was getting set to go back green flag racing. We'll get your report here on pit road here in just a second after we get this one underway. Folks, it's going to be 19 to go when they cross the line this time by. That pace car is heading out of turn number 4. And it's going to set its sights on pit road and let these monster machines loose here. They're going to put the heavy metal to the floor here tonight. Here we go. Pace cars in. As that man is up front there. That's Mike Franklin. He's going to try to get the head up there. And I think that's what he's exactly going to do. He's going to drop down the inside. As boy, he was way off. Matt Hoover way off. They're going to have to be a lot closer than that. They want that high line to go. And exactly what I thought on the start. He got down there in front of Tom. They're going to work it together. Matt's going to have to get up there and close that gap in. Ariati's got no choice but to go down low. The outside just did not form up like they wanted it to.
Yep, Matt Hoover right there. He had a little small opening between the 73 and the 83, but he decided not to take it. I think that was his chance right there.
Yeah, it was. He's going to be left out to dry. It's up top. Well, look at the power move to 6. He is just making that 82 machine out front of Mike Franklin, pushing him around the track here as he got Cameron Hearn on the back end. He also got that man right there, Ariotti. He's got the 5-hour. Man, so I got a lot of 5-hour energy, and I got a lot of energy under the hood, and he's looking very, very good right now as Bobby Chaney, Mr. Consistency himself. He is piling in that machine to 24, looking good. And Jake Nichols is right there behind him, got to go, and you got to be kidding me. I've done seen the back end of this 24 so much about a season or so ago. Now these guys are back up here again, hounding me all season long. Hey, he knows he's got his work cut out for him, Davis.
Yes, he does. And look at the 28, trying to get the high side. He's not going to have any takers. He thought he was going to get some people to go with him, but that's not the case. He's going to be on that high side all alone. Well,
that's what I'm saying is who's going to be the man that's going to pull out front. I'm just waiting to see if Tom Whitmore eventually jumps out there and if Cameron Hearn will go with him. It'll be very interesting to see. Also, what's going to happen with Bobby Chaney, man, and Ariotti? Are they going to work together? Who's going to work with Jake? It's going to be interesting. Well, let's take it down on pit road. Ethan Kurtz, man, standing by down there. He's got us an update on some of the drivers. Ethan, is Joe in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got to talk to Jake Nichols again, and Tyler Sifford, and of course Tyler Sifford, and Matt Hoover right before the green came back out. Jake, you noted earlier he was the only one that pitted out of the front 8 or whatever. He said he wanted tires. That comes back to what we said earlier in the race with what SRA said and Sim Racing Authority and all of them about how tire wear is important. Jake said, I'm not going to be that far back. I fell towards the back anyway. Why not get tires? So that's why he came in, and he wanted the bottom bad. He said he was restart on the outside. He really wanted to get to the bottom, and he's got there now. But Matt Hoover, he's one of the standalones. You know, he's racing by himself this week, just like Jake Nichols at this point. Really, 2 of the standalone drivers with no help. Tyler Sifford's still in the race, not making his way up to the field. And Hoover said this is really where the adrenaline gets to pumping. It's all or nothing to this point, and you got to go for the win.
Absolutely. Well, we've the sentiments is the same up here in the booth as we got 16 to go this time by. Look at the high side, Ariotti. He's got Mr. Consistency himself, Bobby Chaney up there. They'll go side by side up front. They're going to try that high line again. Jake thought about coming up there and helping him. I don't know if he will or not. At some point, somebody's got to try to make it work here. Here we go. Up front, you still got Mike Franklin out there. Tom Whitmore sitting in second. Cameron Hearn sitting in third. And then you've got Ariotti right there. Matt Hoover, like you just said, man's just lonely a little bit, but he's hanging on tough right there in the 4th place spot.
Yep, and John T. Wimbus, that was a teammate he had, but he got caught up in that early wreck. But after that bad restart we've seen Matt have, he's been able to make his way up into the top 5, and we'll see if he can make any moves. Maybe he's going to jump up in front of the 77 and try to get up there to the front.
You're 100% right there. Mike Franklin still powering that thing up front, and he's got help by the 6. At some point, though, that 6 definitely is going to decide to sit and say, well, can I do anything? Can the high line push up there and get going? Jake and company's going to have to, it's going to take more than those 2 cars. I think they're going to actually just decide to come back inside here. Wow, Bobby Chaney, is he going to leave Ariotti out to dry? Oh,
he is, Joe.
Wow, yes, he did. Well, can't accuse him, man. Well, as we say that, then he said, here, come on in.
I was just about to say something, Joe. I didn't want to scare the viewers or scare the drivers, but Superman is on his way.
Yeah, he is. Well, you got to look, though. Again, he's at the helm of what this car is going to give him. I mean, he can't do whatever this thing's not going to give him. And basically right now, it's not giving him a lot. He's just kind of stuck riding in traffic.
Yeah, he really is. And right now, I'll tell you, if I wasn't in the lead, I'd want to be in front of that 77 of Ariotti and the 24 of Bobby Chaney, because those cars, we've seen them in the past, and we've seen them. They've got some speed here, and they know what to do.
Yep, you're 100% right there. And definitely, as you see old Bobby Chaney, he's got Jake Nichols right there behind him, running around this place here. And up front, Mike Franklin's just at the captain up there and doing very, very well. Tom Whitmore's running there with him and piloting and pushing him around this whole entire track. Cameron Hearn has been bad fast. Matt Hoover, he stayed the ground and has stayed up there, currently sitting in 4th place spot. So it's a very, very good one right now. I don't know. Can any one of these guys jump out as we're getting here? When we come across the line, it's going to be 11 to go.
Could you imagine if the 24 of Bobby Cheney were to win this? That'd relit that fire. We harped on it earlier. He didn't have the season he wanted last year, but maybe a win at Daytona rekindles that flame and gets them on the drive to another championship.
Oh, yes, it will. Actually, would whoever wins this one punches their ticket in to the chase. Definitely doesn't have to work as hard going in to the rest of the season, because that's another thing here lingering. And Mike Franklin's thinking about that too. Boy, if I could just go ahead and punch my ticket to the chase here and be set and done, I won't have to be as hard pressed to try to win one of these things. But hey, hang on to your hats, because look at this now. We got 11 cars that are nose to tail. Nick Hunt's been able to pull up there. Haven't talked about him. Got Wesley Crump back there along with Ryan Keith. They've all caught. Now, here's where that outside line could come into play. If those guys in the back, they got nothing to lose, why not try? Let's form up. Let's bring this thing to the front.
And the 77 looked for, he looked like it was going to go to the outside. It looked like he thought the 13 was going to go with him, but when the 13 stayed on the low side, he thought better of it, stayed on the low. But I think they've got to go to the outside right now. They've got to get that line formed up, and they got to start making plays happen.
Now, 100% you're right there, as we're going to have 10 to go. They come out of turn 4, storming around here, this huge 2.5-mile super speedway here, Daytona, under the lights here for ExtremeMotorsports99.com Cup Series. Some of the best here. 10 to go. That time by for that man out front, the 82, Mike Franklin, and the number 6 of Tom Whitmore, who has pushed him around this huge epicenter of a track all night long as he's protecting that inside line. You can't go down there. It's out of bounds. He understands that. Mike does. Cameron Hearn still back there. Matt Hoover's in 4th. Ariotti sitting there in 5th. Bobby Cheney 6th. Jake Nichols sitting in 7th. Michael Muller's been able to move that thing back up in 8th. Ryan Keese in 9th. Round out the top 10, Nick Hunt himself. Boy, I tell you, it's a who's who of names up there. A lot of great ones, superstars, so to speak, here tonight under the lights, Davis. And here comes the outside lane.
I'm really shocked that no one else went with him on that low side or top in front of him. I really thought that was the time to do it.
You know, and those have been the ones that have been able to do it. Ariotti and Bobby Cheney has been the two that has flirted with that outside. Here comes Ryan Keese. He's got nothing to lose. Why not? He's sitting back in 9th. He says, look, guys, y'all going to, but look at the power and the speed that SRA bunch has up front. It's definitely go time. Brung what you brung up here. 9 to go, folks. You got Performance Motorsports, SRA Motorsports, Jake Nichols Motorsports. You've got right there Alliance Motorsports. You got Matt Hoover up there. It's a lot of who's who of powerhouse team names, and I just got a feeling it's going to be a lonely thing. Jake doesn't go high with those guys. Nobody is. I mean, if you want to win or you just sit where you're at, which do you do, Davis?
I'm just frustrated looking at it, because as a driver, Joe, I'd be up there at the top. I'd be trying to make something work. But we're just seeing them just stay on that bottom. I don't know if I guess they're scared to go up there because they don't know who's going to go with them, because we got so many mixed teammates up in the top 10 that they really just don't know what to do. But as I say that, here comes the 73 of Superman.
Absolutely. Well, can Jake Nichols pull that train back to the front here and help it out? This would be an unlikely style of what are we looking for? Partnership. There we go. It's a good word to use. Jake Nichols racing SRA, as we're going to see at the 77, 73, and the 24. That's Jake Nichols, Ariotti, and Bobby Cheney, respectively. All three of those muscle powerhouse machines are up top. They are bringing it to the front. We're going to see a Performance Motorsports, actually teammate of Mike Franklin and Tom Whitmore, has enough performance in those machines up there to pull this thing off, because it is electric. Who else is going to come up there? Hey, that's Delonte Ballard. He might be a lap down, but he still could get up there and help those guys out.
And he really could, Joe. As we see him right now, it's going to be interesting to see if the 6 takes that top side, because they've got the momentum.
That's right, absolutely. They do got the momentum. Does not take them having to be out front, just takes them having to be a little quarter panel. Here comes Nick Hunt along with Delonte Ballard. If they can get 5 cars up high and get those guys nose to tail pushing around this track, They got that low line broke up just a little bit, and that's what they need to get the momentum. When they come across the line, will be 5 to go the next time by. Here comes the Superman. He is storming to the front. Mike Franklin. Tom Whitmore is going to push the tailpipe straight to the front of that 82 machine if he can, because he understands if he just lets that 73 get a little bit up there, it's all she wrote, because that man definitely can get out front.
I think the 6 of Tom Moore, I think he's going to jump up there, Joe, and if the fans aren't fired up for this right now, something's wrong with them, because this is some racing right now. We've been waiting for this moment this entire race, and we're here.
Absolutely. Been waiting for it this entire last 3 weeks here for ExtremeMotorsports99.com. You're right there, Davis. If this don't get your blood pumping and you're jumping up and down and running around the whole neighborhood, nothing will, because this is racing. And you're right, Tom Whitmore's looking. He understands that he's got to do something and do something in a hurry. He's either going to stay, but now look at that. They left Jake out to dry. I don't know who's going to be the one to try it.
I thought they'd had enough momentum. I think the 6 was going to go with them, but then you seen that top line start to dissipate, and he thought better of it and stayed on the bottom, but I think that was their shot right there.
Absolutely, as they came across the line, 4 laps to go, and you're right, caution comes out at this point. It is over with as the 77 Ariotti goes up high. I think at this point these guys back there in the back are just looking at positions here, and there goes Tom Whitmore to the high side. He's going to say, look, I had to do it. Here he goes. Dre broadcast Tom goes to the front. Is he going to take the lead away? He does. Swaps position with Mike Franklin. That is exactly what he needed. Cameron Hearn high. Here we go. Well, you wanted it. We got it. Now we're going. It's go time now, Davis.
That was textbook purple right there. You see the 82. He says, you ain't taking that lead away from me. I'm taking it back. As he's side by side with the 6 of Tom Whitmore, and the 6 of Tom Whitmore's got Matt Hoover behind him, pushing him.
Yes, he does. Right there, high side. Mike Franklin says they swapped that position back and forth, but here comes Cameron Hearn. He's got Jake Nichols glued to his back deck lid, and man, this is what we wanted. Up front here, these guys now are getting very, very racy. 3 to go this time by Daytona, and you got some of the powerhouse teams, powerhouse players here at Extreme, the best right there in these cup cars, and they are proving it here tonight, running and storming around this huge track.
And the 6, he's going to go up top with Cameron Hearn. He's got him cleared right now by a fender, and he missed his moment right there.
Yeah, he did. Well, I'll tell you what, Cameron Hearn's still up top right now. Now, Tom Whitmore, he understood. He got a good dive, was able to get out front. 2 to go. One more time. When they come across here will be the white flag. And for one more time for either that number 82 or the number 6 here. We're riding along, though, with Ariotti on the one side. And we're going to see, boy, they are pushing and beating and banging each other up front.
This is some awesome racing right now. We've seen that top line participate. They got one more try to get there. Got to think the 24 and the 13 are going to try to go that high line. We might see the 82 try to block the 6, but he's going to be down to the wire.
Yes, it is. They come out of the turn. They're going to take the white flag this time by. That man in the 82, he has pulled this freight train around. Here comes the 24. Bobby Cheney says, I've had enough. Got to do it. Matt Hoover stayed glued to the back end. They're going to bring it around. White flag in the air one more time, Davis, around this super speedway at Daytona, and they'll go side by side out of turn number 2.
We talked about earlier, the 24, Bobby Cheney's looking on the outside. The 82 is not going to block him. The 24, he's getting a heck of a run right now with the 77 pushing him.
Yes, they are. As they're going to come down in turn number 3 here for the final time here tonight. You're going to see it. We're going to ride around with a 77. That's all that Bobby Cheney needs right there is a half car. They come out of turn 3, out of turn number 4, folks. They will come to the line. They'll beat, they'll bang, they'll come out of it. Bobby Cheney's up front. He's out front with a 77. And SRA steal this one tonight. Yes, they will as they come to the line 3 wide. Wow, what a finish. Mr. Consistency himself pulled this thing off.
Joe, can you believe it? The 82 led the whole entire race, and the 24 came up and he stole one.
Wow. Mr. Bobby Cheney, the whole season, he was the defending champ. Man, I got goosebumps. Don't know what to say on that finish right there. But, hey, folks, you got to see a thriller of an end right there as Mr. Consistency himself, SRA's owner, came over here and said, yep, we unpacked a season ago, and came over here, and that man won a title by 1 point in a thriller at the end at Homestead, and tonight won it again in a thriller here at Daytona, and brought his teammate along with him. Wow, what a finish.
Watch out for that 24 this season. Talked about it earlier. He's going to get that momentum, got that win. He's going to be a player, and he's going to bring Jake Nichols some competition, but also look at the number 77 of Ariati. We've seen it. He's here for real. He's not playing around. We're going to see what he has next week. And fans, if you're not excited about this is going to be a season for the record books.
Yes, it was. It was a who's who of what was going to happen right there. Come to the line. Didn't know it, but Performance Motorsports, though, definitely has some heavy hitters of their own. They showed that they definitely got the performance to be able to run with these guys up here. Jake Nichols might need to get on recruitment and get on it very fast, because he's going to have his hands full, I believe, all season long, as that man right there, Bobby Chaney with SRA, Performance Motorsport and them, and trying to find out who got second. Ariati and Mike Franklin. All right, good deal. I'm making sure that's the right ones that came across the line, because they were all coming across 3 wide, 2 wide, and everything else. That is right. Ariati came in second. You showing Mike Franklin in third?
10-4.
All right, good deal. Just making sure, because that's what my ticker showing up there. Well, you know, Davis, I'm gonna bring up our third place man, Mike Franklin, who led most of this race. But the last one is what counted. Man, I tell you, it gives me goosebumps. We didn't know who was going to win. Let's get a talk in. Let's get a talk in with the Mike Franklin, the 82 machine.
Hey, Mike Franklin, this is Davis Richards up here in the OSR Network booth. Man, I know you've got to be heartbreaking. You've seen you led almost every single lap in that race. You completely dominated the field. But what was going through your mind on that last lap?
Don't get past. Yeah, it's well, you know, that's Daytona. That's plate racing. There's been lots of last lap passes. But you know, you can lead all the laps you want, but you got to lead that last one. That's the most important one.
Yeah, well, I love your attitude about it, Mike. You're still holding your head up high, but we've seen it. That high side wasn't able to work the entire race. Did you think the high side was gonna be that much of an issue, or do you think the bottom was definitely the way to go the entire race?
Yeah, I definitely think the bottom was the way to go the entire race. And that those are teammates. They hooked up and they made that high side work. Me and my teammate on the bottom there, we just lost it. And like I said, it's plate racing. I did kind of get up inside of him, try to slow him down just without wrecking either one of us. It just didn't work out. And, I didn't get the win, but, third place is definitely the way to start the season.
Yep, you're right, and we love the sportsmanship coming from you. And, you didn't get the win, but you still got a good third place finish. You looking forward to Vegas next week?
Absolutely. That's a racetrack right there. It's more in the driver's hands than it is. You just got to have so much help at Daytona, Talladega. You got to have that help. If you don't have that help, you have nowhere to go. So more, track where it's up to the driver on how they get things done. So really looking forward to Vegas next week.
Awesome, Mike. Well, it was really good talking to you, and we wish you luck at next week's race. But you got anyone out there you want to thank?
I just want to thank all the fans for watching, and really hope we put on a good show.
Great race out there, Mike, and we'll see you next week at Vegas.
All right, thank you.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, Davis, right there, a little rejected on his end, but hey, that's understandable. The man gave everything he had tonight. Just came up just a little short. He's got nothing to hold his head down low on, because it was awesome. He definitely got that performance in Performance Motorsports there. Well, I know this guy right here, they brought him in from SRA, a sort of a ringer style, to take out Jake Nichols Racing, but they had to take out Performance Motorsports here tonight. And man, what a thriller of a finish there as he pushed his teammate to the win. Ariati, the number 77, I'll let you get a talk in with him coming in second tonight.
Hey, Ariati. Hey, Ariati, this is Davis Richards up here in the OSR Network booth. Man, First time I've seen you race. You're new to extreme motorsports, but you're not new to winning, that's for sure. We've seen you get second place out there. How did the car feel tonight?
It was not bad the entire night. There was one instance where I actually got loose, jerking the wheel a little bit too hard on entry there, but for the most part, yeah, the car was actually wasn't bad at all. It was sort of hard to keep the car in the draft, but yeah, apart from that, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad drive at all.
And when you seen you go with the number 24 of Bobby Chaney and give him the win, how long were y'all planning that?
Oh man, we were scheming ever since we actually came out of pit road there before that caution came out, and yeah, we're just trying different things. I mean, coming to about 15 to go, figured, you know, we need to start making moves. We can't just wait till maybe 2 laps to go. So we just started trying things there, and then I'm not sure how he did it, but you know, we just kept on trying to time the runs. Really, they would get hot on the inside line, and then we'd just wait for them to check up, and then hopefully there was a run coming behind us, and just a whole bunch of momentum. And I can't honestly remember what was going on the inside there, but all I know is I went on the outside and pushed Bobby, and there was a ton of help from Jake, and I'm not sure if anyone else was behind him, but I definitely couldn't have pushed Bobby to the win like that if I didn't have Jake behind me. So I got to thank him a lot for that. I'll give him a beer sometime.
Yep, copy that. And I was just about to harp on that, but you answered my question for you. We knew you had to go on the top side, had to try something, just couldn't lay back there and let the 82 of Mike Franklin win. But do you honestly think that top side was going to get it done for you? Because we watched it all night. The top side didn't have anything. They weren't able to get past the leader. They were just stuck in traffic. It was like they were hitting a brick wall.
Well, the outside line had a ton of momentum. It's just no one wanted to go up there. If we had 3 cars, we could keep up for the most part with the leaders, but we needed another, at least a 4th, just to be able to compete or contend for the lead, to push the guy who's leading the outside line to the lead. But yeah, no one just wanted to go up there, so it just never articulated anything like that. So, but yeah, it was a place to be. I mean, you could get a run, get your car down towards the inside, slow the guy down, and then head back out towards the wall. And I tried that once, and it worked out pretty well. But yeah, no one just wanted to go out there. But yeah, the outside was definitely a place to be. It was just getting enough cars to come out there and help you, push you to the lead.
Well, you proved it tonight. We know you're a contender. You're going to be fighting for that championship all season long. Are you excited for Vegas next week?
I am. It used to be one of my better tracks, but up until the new surface model came out, I've been sort of trashed there. But it's definitely going to be. I am looking forward to it. I love the 1.5-mile track, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun.
Well, hey, we can't wait to see you out there. But before we let you go, you got anyone out there you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank you guys for putting these races on. I thank Bobby for inviting me. It was I was watching last season, and it looked like a lot of fun. So I really appreciate all the effort, all the guys who broadcast, you guys who the admins who just all the work you guys do to bring these races on. So and then thank all the drivers who showed up tonight. I'm looking forward to racing with you guys. It looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Hey, well, we'll see you out there next week, and maybe you can get up there and get a victory. But you proved tonight that victory is not going to take too long here.
We'll see. I don't know. There are a lot of fast guys here. We'll see what happens next week. I appreciate it.
All right, Davis, I'll tell you what, that's the man right there. That's the ringer they brought over from SRA himself right there, Sim Racing Authority, Ariati. Well, I know I've got an ecstatic Mr. Consistency himself. Didn't show a lot of consistency, just showed a lot of power, poise, and what it took to be a champion a couple seasons ago. That's right, the main man. He is the guy that owns it all over there, Mr. SRA himself, Bobby Chaney. He is the winner tonight. Bobby Chaney, Joe White in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Jeff.
Well, you know, I always said reigning, current, defending champ. Last season, lost it, not the season you want, but this is the way to step back and step back in a hurry. You swung for the fences. You brought over a heavy hitter in that 77 of Ariati. Y'all unpacked again from the SRA camp, Sim Racing Authority, and came over here, and now you've won Daytona, season opener here for Extreme Motorsports 99.com Cup Series. Mr. Consistency himself, Bobby Chaney. How's it feel?
It feels great. I mean, I just, usually I come into these races and like to run in the back. And I told myself at the for this race, with Delonte and Airy, that let's just go up there and just go. Unfortunate for Delonte, he had some computer issues, just never could really recover. But me and Airy worked well together, and we've raced a lot of years together, and I trust him the most out there. So I said, let's just go see what we get. And I told him with about 4 to go that all bets are off, bud, and I kind of left him out there. It was time to go for ourselves, but ended up hooking up again, and the end result was pretty good.
Absolutely. You got that high side of rolling out there, and it looked very good at 24. I know you were giving old Jake Nichols, man, flashbacks of a couple seasons ago going, you got to be kidding me. These guys are back at it again. I saw this in my mirror all season long. He brought Airy over here, and if I'm not mistaken, he's y'all's Cup champ over there at SRA. You were the Cup champ over here at Extreme, and you both come over here along with Delonte. Wow, SRA, Sim Racing Authority, y'all put the authority in the last of it when y'all step on the track. You mean business, and it was awesome to see y'all run out there. Now, we asked Airy about how he felt about that high line. How did you feel? Did you think that was the way to go? Because the inside lane had been dominant all race long.
Yeah, I mean, if we were, just by the way the race played out, I knew if we were, any of us were gonna have a shot at passing them guys up there, we were gonna have to make a move on the outside and get enough cars to help. I mean, it's some people are just gonna have to swallow their pride, and just gonna have to set, make the move instead of ride, because it's with this draft package in Gen 6, it's really tough to make moves, and you kind of just got to time your moves, and hopefully it works out. And that's what we did. We were timing checkups, so we kind of were trying to time to see when that accordion effect was going to happen, and that was the time to make the move, and it ended up working out. That's about the way you got to play that game up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, every time I get to talk to you, you sound calm, cool, and collective. Man on a mission. That's why we call you Mr. Consistency. You're definitely consistent. Tonight, you showed that you've got the power and the muscle to bring it to the front and bring your boys up there, because you are Mr. SRA indeed, and brought that team to a win. You got anybody out there you want to thank for it?
I want to thank you and the guys for putting this broadcast on. It's a really cool deal you got going here. All the viewers in chat that were out there watching the race, hopefully we put on a show for them. I mean, that's the goal, to put on a show for them. And I got to thank Rick and Don and all the guys at Extreme Motorsports 99.com for putting this on. It's a fun league, and get to race some really good guys, and it's it's a lot of work for them to give up their time and admin and do all the stuff I know. Trust me, and I really appreciate what they do for us. It's fun, and the competition in the Cup Series is great this year. I feel like we're gonna have some more clean racing and less cautions, hopefully, and it's gonna be great. I started my season last year. It wasn't very good, a lot of wrecks, but we're here, to win a race, fine. But I'm here to win a championship again, and that's hopefully what we're gonna do.
Absolutely. We a couple seasons ago, y'all unpacked from SRA at Daytona, and you had one thing in mind and one thing only: to dethrone the Superman himself, Jake Nichols. You did that by 1 point at the end of the season, and you did it by winning some and being very consistent like you are out there. You're off to a very good start, and again, SRA has unpacked with authority here at Daytona Speed Weeks at Extreme Motorsports 99.com Cup Series, and tonight's winner, Bobby Chaney in the 24 machine, Mr. Consistency himself. Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, Joe, if you don't mind too, I have my own Twitch page. I stream every race I do, and I changed my Twitch name because of you to Mr. Consistency. So I got to thank you for that name. I mean, that's my Twitch name now, and I had quite a few people watching tonight, and just going out there being consistent. So I got to thank you on that one, buddy.
Hey, I appreciate it. I mean, give me a link. I'll put that thing down in the chat for you there. Like I said, you want to see the heads-up view of Mr. Consistency himself as he races around this place. There you go. You can see it. And also, you can see it here on Star Network every week, man. It's awesome to watch you guys battle it out with the other teams, Performance Motorsports, to name a few, Jake Nichols Racing. It's awesome to see. Again, congratulations, Bobby.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, we'll tell you what, Davis, man, right there, very, very happy guy of him. And tonight he should be, because, man, just as we look at the results here, Bobby Cheney pulling it off, Ariotti there in second, Mike Franklin third, Tom Whitmore in fourth, and Jake Nichols rounds at the top 5. I mean, just look through the top 10 here. Matt Hoover, Cameron Hearn, Michael Mueller, Nick Hunt having a fight back and come back in ninth, and James Thorndike, a good run for him there in the top 10. It was an awesome race. I mean, would never have thought that the move would have been made like it did on the outside, but boy, they brought that high side to life and brought it out. You got any final words, Davis?
And Joe, what an awesome race. I did not expect that high side, like you said, to work like that. We had watched the low side just dominate the entire race, and 3 weeks of waiting, it was worth it. As we seen all the action we wanted to see, and then some. And what an awesome win by Bobby Cheney, Mike Franklin, Ariotti, Tom Whitmore, Jake Nichols, Matt Hoover. All of them just did an amazing job out there. And I can't wait until next week when these drivers head to Las Vegas, and we're going to see some action there as well.
We are 100% right here. Well, this is Speed Weeks here this week. Daytona International Speedway right there, folks, for Extreme Motorsports 99. You can relive all this action here from the Xfinity and the Cup Series on OSR Network, and also the K&N Series and the Truck Series over at Dre Broadcast Network. You can definitely check those out here. Relive all this action. Well, for myself, Joe White up here in the booth, David Richards, and Ethan Kurtz down in pit road. Hey, everyone out there, hope you enjoyed this one. We'll see you next week, and have a good night.